We will. We're the law firm of William Robbins. Call 87-LEGAL.
Bolton Furniture saves you money.
I like saving money.
Queen Anne sofa's only $199. Contemporary sofa's just $379. Double recliner sectionals only $699.
Folks, Bolton Furniture really does save you money.
Mapleton, Marietta, Decatur, College Park, and Gainesville.
Something outrageous is happening to hair. Outrageous shampoos and conditioners. Outrageous body. Outrageous shine. Outrageously beautiful hair. Outrageous shampoos and conditioners from Revlon.
It's Macy's one-day sale with spectacular savings and values in every department. Shop 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Wednesday.
Animals and Healing. Tonight at 6 on 11 News.
You know, it simply amazes me the amount of information and entertainment you can buy over the telephone just by calling one of those 900 numbers. Anything from sports scores to soap opera gossip, horoscopes, even financial information. You name it, you can probably buy it in one of those pay-per-call telephone numbers. You know, one day I'm going to have my own 900 number. I wonder what that would be like.
ROLONDA. You've reached the Rolanda hotline. It's $2 is the charge for each minute if you choose to stay on. If you'd like to know tomorrow's topic, push 1 now. If you'd like to know yesterday's topic, push 2 now. You want to know what the show is today? Well, stay on the line while the real Rolanda tells you.
I'm just kidding. 900 numbers. God, you hear about them everywhere. I mean, you can call for everything from psychics to sex. That's our topic today on Rolanda. You know, we're living in an information-hungry society, and we want it fast, and as fast as picking up the telephone, we want it. Maybe that explains why 900 numbers, those pay-per-call telephone services, generate a reported, are you ready for this, $1 billion a year. Now, everything from jokes, you can call for jokes, you can call for the weather, you know, you can get legal advice if you want to. It's just a phone call away. And sometimes it's a hefty phone bill away, too. If anybody could have seen the future of a successful 900 number, it is our first guest. You're going to recognize her from the Psychic Friends Network infomercials. She appears on it with Dionne Warwick. These infomercials air more than 280 times every week. All across the country, they promote the 900 number service where you can actually call and speak to a live psychic for $3.99 a minute. Please welcome the most televised psychic in the world, you've got to be, Linda Georgian. Good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
What a success.
Well, it has been. It's been a lot of fun, and I've always enjoyed helping people. I've always had an interest in psychic phenomenon, and as a matter of fact, everyone has psychic ability. We all have intuitive ability. You think of someone, they call you on the phone, or you're thinking of something, and someone thinks of the same thing at the same time. Or you meet someone, you say, there's something about this person I don't like. I get bad vibes. I don't know what it is. You've never met them before, and you find out later you were right. Or you really click with somebody. So, I mean, we all have it, and it's really a matter of developing it.
So we could develop a 900 number, too.
Well, the 900 business is a, you know, is a whole technology of services that are provided to help people fast so that people can have the privilege of using the privacy of their own home in order to talk to someone to get help, and as you well know, in probably you know, hundreds of different types of services, and the psychic service is just one of those things.
Tell me how you got involved. How long have you been doing it, first of all? How'd you get involved?
About 3 years now. I started with one company out of Miami, and then I was contacted by Mike Warren, who owns Inflammation in Baltimore, and he and I got together and created the Psychic Friends Network. Dionne Warwick, I was doing psychic readings for her back in the early 80s. And we became psychic friends all that time. And so when it came time to do an infomercial, I connected with a friend of mine in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where I live, Margie Cowan, who said, you know, Dion would be interested in doing the infomercial with you. And it all came together. And so Dion and I really click well. I'm a very religious person, as she is. I was raised as a Catholic. I'm a Christian. And she is also very spiritual. So she was open to doing a show that was going to promote those types of things and have one that was really very credible, a lot of integrity, and psychics who really were true psychics and not someone who was just, you know, a paid person off the street to do readings, which, you know, some companies do.
You guys are on so much. Haven't you seen this show all the time? Everybody's going, yeah. How many people call you during the day?
There are about 6,300 calls a day.
A day?
A day. And we have about 1,100 psychics who work full-time, up to 1,500, some of which work part-time, and they work out of their homes. And these are the best psychics that we can find. There's many that are very master psychics, as we call them. These are people who have portfolios and resumes of testimonials. They own metaphysical stores. They teach classes in psychic phenomenon, spiritual counseling, and so on.
And so you screen these folks?
Oh, we have the most highly technical screening process. We have a psychic control department that screens them. We have to check their resumes. We interview them. We test them. How do you know if a psychic is good? Is really when you do a reading. And so they have to do test readings with a psychic panel, of which I'm part of. And then periodically, like any company, we have test callers so that we have our panel call up, monitor, and test the reader. And certainly people have off days like anybody would have. So if a person really wasn't clicking with a person that particular day, we give
them your money back?
No, well, I'm saying for the test. When you do the test, well, actually, if you are talking to someone and you're not really satisfied with the call, then you can tell that psychic that, you know, you would like to speak to another psychic, and you can, you know, get into the system again. So
now, it was $3.99 a minute.
Right, but when you call up on the line, on our line anyway, you will get a preamble, a recording that will say, you have called the Psychic Friends Network. It is $3.99 per minute. You are not being charged for this time right now. If you would like to hang up, you can hang up right now, and you won't be charged. But if you would like to talk to the next available psychic, then press 1 or press 2 for a menu. Then you would get a menu of all the various types of services that we have, because there are various psychics or astrologers or tarot card readers or various people who are featured with you know, their different qualifications. So you can actually choose one that you have, or if you know someone and you've talked to someone already on the line, you can press their extension.
Let me ask you, can you really get a good psychic reading on the phone?
Oh, absolutely. I've been doing private psychic readings by phone since the early 70s. I've been doing this a long time. And it is a skill. I mean, you have to have that ability, a true ability to tap into that person. To me, it's tapping into that divine force within me, whether it's, you know, God, Jesus, angels, saints, and so on. I mean, that's where my belief comes from. So I'm tapping in, and I tune into that person on the phone and tell them things that I see psychically. Some people need cards and do it psychically at the same time. But yes, and some people are more attuned than others. Like, I could do a reading for you on the phone and really get names and specific things, and then you say, oh, she's great, and let my friend talk to me, and maybe I'm not getting exactly the same thing. So nobody's 100% accurate.
How much is the average phone call?
The average time is around 10 to 12 minutes, so you can calculate it from there. So
$4 an hour.
Right. But there's most psychics, if you were to drive to their home or do it by phone or by mail or whatever, a lot of psychics charge a lot, you know, $75 to $150. So we're talking about something that's $50 or $75, and after you connect with somebody that you really like, then you can call back that person. You know, the repeat business is about 42%.
Wow.
So once you have that psychic and you feel a rapport, you can call that person back and maybe only talk for 2 or 3 minutes, and that's it, you know, so it's not a lot every time.
Let me ask you, do you ever have, like, people who, because, you know, you folks can get hooked on these 1-900 numbers.
Oh, sure.
Do you ever, is it part of the business savvy to say, look, you have called every moment here?
Absolutely. I mean, we try to encourage people to rely on, I do, and I encourage all the psychics that work for the line to have that integrity to tell people, you know, you have to make your own final decision and you have to be self-reliant. I do not want someone to be dependent on me all the time, nor do we want them to be dependent on the line. We always have people calling all the time, so we don't encourage people to call every day. Plus, they can't afford to do it, and we have a beep that comes on after about 15, 20 minutes that reminds a person, hey, you know, you've been on for 20 minutes. You know, meantime, they're saying, I don't have a job, I can't pay my bills, and they're talking it. Well, how are you going to pay for this phone call? How are you going to pay for this phone call, right? You know, later in our show, thank you so much. We're going to continue this conversation. I know, but you're great. You're great. We're going to find out how to get a hot date using a 1-900 line. And when we come back, we're also going to talk about everything you always wanted to know about sex. For just $2 a minute. Just pick up the phone and a professional sexologist is going to tell you everything you wanted to know. Or you could do it psychically.
There you go. I'll be right back.
What in this world can you get for $49.99? At America's Best, new patients get contact lenses or 2 pair of eyeglasses for $49.99, including the eye exam. America's Best contacts and eyeglasses. Daily wear soft contacts or 2 pair of eyeglasses, $49.99, including the eye exam. Now.
Get the cash settlement you deserve. Call the law office of William H. Curtis. His team of legal experts will work hard to protect your rights. If you've been injured on the job or through the negligence of others, you may be entitled to a cash settlement. The law office of William H. Curtis will win your cash settlement fast. Call 522-9999 for your free consultation. Personal injury, workers' comp. If you've been injured, get the cash settlement you deserve. William H. Curtis, the defense never rests.
After an auto accident, pain may not appear for days or even weeks, but when it does, it's your body's signal that something is wrong. Arrowhead Clinic treats people who experience delayed pain from accidents every day. Getting prompt and proper treatment for your injuries could prevent future problems and pain. Arrowhead Clinic will even file the claims for you and wait for the insurance company to pay the claims. Call Arrowhead Clinics right now at 968-PAIN for an immediate appointment. We'll take care of the paperwork and the pain. Call 968-PAIN now.
Okay, sports fans, get ready to go for the glory during Sports Illustrated Sports Fest at Six Flags. Show your stuff as you jam it, slam it, nail it, kick it, and stick it at the world's largest traveling sports festival. There are scores of challenging and fun activities for the whole family to participate in, like basketball, soccer, baseball, football, Nerf games for the small set, and much, much more. Come on out for the exciting Sports Illustrated Sports Fest this weekend, and it's only at Six Flags over Georgia.
I'm the only one who knows the truth.
The only talk show appearance of Tanya Harding is on the next Rolanda. Welcome back, everybody. We're talking today about 900 numbers. You know, those pay-per-call phone services where you can order practically anything from psychics to sex. And speaking of sex, our next guest is going to talk about that in just a minute. I can't let you go right into sex immediately. I wanted to ask you, Linda, before we go on. Why is there this phenomenon? I mean, $1 billion a year, that's a lot of telephone calls. Well, why are we spending so much money here? What's the phenomenon?
It's a lot of services that people are providing to make it convenient for the consumer to get in touch with that particular service. So therefore, it's something that I find is often cost-effective for people because maybe they don't have the vehicle to get to where they need to be, or the time is in the middle of the night and they need help immediately. So, you know, whatever the service may be, someone is there ready to help them, you know, to provide that type of service, whatever their needs may be.
Okay. Now, let's get back to sex. Our next guest does sex for a living. She is a respected clinical sexologist. But 3 years ago, she helped create an easier way toward adult education. The Xandria Sex Advisor Line. It's a telephone guide to sexual pleasures and improved lovemaking. Please welcome Luann Cole. So, get you. You're out of the office and onto the phone. How did that happen?
Well, I was hired by the Lawrence Research Group to be an advisor to their sexual accessories catalog, along with 2 other people who are respected sex educators and medical journalists in the field. And when we had the 3 of us in the room, we realized we had a lot of talent and a lot of know-how all at one place. And so the Lawrence Research Group said, I think you 3 could put together a very meaty, informative, know-how kind of sex information line. And we said, I think you're right. And so that's what we did. The Lawrence Research Group had kind of in the back of its mind the idea that by the year 2000, they wanted to be one of the premier dispensers of sex information in the country to North America. And so it all fell together in that way about almost 3 years ago.
What is the #1 most asked question?
Well, people don't ask a question when they call. We have about 35 topics that are pre-recorded messages. They last in length from about 5 to 8 minutes.
And it's topics like what?
Topics like how to have orgasms more easily, how to cope with the size your penis is, how to last longer, how to have erections stay, how to have orgasms if you've never had one as a woman. What do you do if you feel pain during intercourse?
All this on the telephone.
What if you...
Keep going.
I'll be happy to.
We're getting a free call.
You're getting the free menu. How can you and a partner lovingly engage in restraint together, a power play exchange? What are the safe things you need to know about this if you wish to do it? What if you think you might be bisexual? What should you know about that? What if you'd like to introduce your partner to vibrators and you're not sure how to go about it? Should I share a fantasy with my partner? Would that be a good thing to do? How can I set a romantic mood that will really engage my partner and make him or her want sex with me more often?
That's everything in the book.
So that's about half of the 35.
Okay, now how long does it take you to explain this one topic to somebody?
Well, each one is about, as I said, 5 to 8 minutes. It depends on the particular subject. And they're grouped in clusters. We have 9 clusters with about 3 to 4 subtopics in each group. And so you pick one area, and then it's like the roots of a tree. You just go down and say, oh, I want that one under this subject area.
Wow. Do you have, like, habitual callers?
I honestly don't. I honestly don't know, but you know, as I was flying out here today, I was looking through our scripts and just to have it top of mind, and I read it and I said, damn, this is good. I forgot how good it was.
Yeah.
And the thing that I like about it is that it gives people specific things they can do when they hang up the phone in order to enrich their own lives. It isn't therapy, it's information that gets people on an accurate track. And probably one of the greatest mistakes that people make around sexuality is they don't have good information, and so they're kind of operating without the right sense of the field out there. For example, someone might call up, want to know, can I use a lambskin condom and feel safe in terms of protection against HIV? They can dial up, select our contraception section, and go to the condom section and hear that.
Wow.
And so they can know, no, you can't use a a lambskin condom and feel protected by HIV. You need a latex one.
#1 requested topic.
It's in the category of things that are still fairly, not taboo, things that Americans still feel rather guilty about.
Like?
Sexually. Masturbation.
Masturbation?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think we need a little break here. We've got to take a break. We're going to also hear about the joy of phone sex. But first, another breakthrough idea, 900 numbers. Actually, can you believe you can get therapy on the telephone? If you've got some hang-ups, so to speak, you can now even dial a shrink from the comfort of your own couch at home. We'll be right back after this.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could wave a magic wand and take 10 years off your skin here, and here, and here? Well, you can't. But there is the beauty treatment called Anew that started the whole alpha-hydroxy rage. Anew helps you shed tired, dry surface skin and lets newer, healthier-looking skin emerge. But don't take our word for it. In 2 weeks, you'll start to see a difference, or we'll give you your money back. Anew from Avon. To order, call your Avon representative or 1-800-4AVON. Yoplait Crunchin' Yogurt Light. Light on calories. Low in fat. It's the one crunch you'll look forward to. New from Yoplait. Do it for you.
Why are Hershey's Kisses wrapped in foil? So you can hear them tap dance. Little Hershey's Kisses. Big chocolate taste.
Some people will tell you that the humor in kids' shows today is actually quite sophisticated.
Cable keeps you straight on the newest and best kids shows around. And while most people get it,
I just think it's funny.
some get it more than others. So call us today and see it for yourself on cable TV, today's #1 source of quality kids shows. Get cable and get it straight.
Camcorders are over this way, Irv. Oh, that's a computer that we bought at the warehouse store, Irv.
Better. This one's better.
Well, we kind of knew what we wanted.
I could have used a little advice.
Okay, we paid less.
We paid more.
Buy your new computer with confidence at Circuit City. We've got a great selection of top brands, state-of-the-art service, and always the low price guaranteed.
I could have bought a better computer.
For less?
Circuit City. We've got your new computer right here.
Are you currently having an affair with a married man? If you can't break the cycle of being the other woman, call Rolanda at 1-800-291-2535. We're talking about the world of 900 numbers today on Rolanda. You know, I was really amazed to learn that there's a 900 number for just about anything you want to do. I mean, you can call to hear. Now, you ready for this one? You can pick up the telephone and call a 1-900 number to hear convicted serial killer John Wayne Gacy proclaim his innocence at $1.99 a minute. Have you ever heard of anything? And listen to this. You can help pay their legal bills. Shane Stant and Derek Smith, the attackers of Nancy Kerrigan, well, they have a 900 number too, where they will tell you their opinion of Tanya Harding. Okay, let's move on. Joining us by satellite now from his office in San Francisco is Dr. Ross E. Goldstein. Dr. Goldstein is a Harvard-educated psychologist of 20 years who created Summit Solutions line. It comprises a nationwide network of 300 therapists who counsel callers for $2.99 per minute. We're joined here live via satellite. How you doing, Dr. Goldstein?
I'm doing great, Rolanda. It sounds like a terrific show. I'm sorry I'm not there.
I know. Well, at least we beamed you in, Scotty.
Well, it's a pleasure to be beamed in.
Listen, tell me, tell me exactly what you do. I mean, what kind of, give me a typical kind of phone call you get.
Most of our calls, Rolanda, are about relationships or job stress or family situations. A lot of our phone calls are situations where someone will call in and ask for a specific piece of advice. Often, the conclusion of the phone call is that we'll recommend to somebody that they need to be seen in more intensive psychotherapy. Sometimes we'll give them a tip or a pointer or a different way of looking at a situation. Sometimes we'll recommend a book. So there's a wide variety of things that come out of the phone calls.
Do you ever get calls that like really worry you, that you just like, God, this person could like go commit suicide or something really drastic that really concerns you?
Rolanda, that was one of the concerns I had when I set up the line. And in fact, what we do with the line is we have a preamble, as most 900 numbers do, in which we tell people who have those kinds of concerns that this isn't the place to take those kinds of calls. We instruct them to call their local emergency phone numbers and to take those calls to those places. And yet, some do come through, and we hope that we're helpful to those people as well.
How responsible are you? Because I think that, you know, I just wonder if you could be held responsible if something went tragically wrong and, I don't know, they linked it back to the 1-900 number that you had called. Are you in any way responsible for people's lives in some way?
Well, I think anytime you call a professional and you engage that professional, there's some area of responsibility. And in fact, all of our providers are licensed professionals who carry malpractice for just those cases.
I heard that when we, according to the research, I hear that you got this whole idea when a patient came to you describing how she spent $4,000 calling telephone psychics.
Well, that's in fact true. A woman came to see me about 4 or 5 years ago, and the issue she was talking about was one where she was having difficulty finding a man and making contact with men in her life.
She must have fallen in love with one of the psychics.
Well, and I asked her...
$4,000. So I'm sorry, go on.
I asked her what she had done, as I often do when people come to see me, during the course of the last year to try and deal with this problem. And she said to me, a little bit embarrassed, she said, and she kind of mumbled, she said, over the past year I've spent, and she kind of put her hand over her mouth, $4,000 talking to psychics on the telephone.
Unbelievable.
And when I heard that, I thought, you know, not to disparage psychics, I know you probably have some on the panel tonight, but that there had to be a way to get professional services, licensed professionals, to be able to deliver similar kinds of services.
Oh, come on, Goldstein, you know you wanted that $4,000.
Well, you know, what I didn't want was the $4,000. What I did want was to develop an alternative way to deliver professional, high-quality psychological services to the public. You know, a lot of the public out there feels like they would like a little bit of help, a little bit of information, a point of view, but what they don't want is they don't want to go into therapy. Psychologists have been resistant to giving those kinds of people a professional service. I thought it was about time that we did.
Yeah, I was going to say, why would somebody, for a therapist situation, stay at home in such an impersonal kind of thing? But I guess, you know.
Well, you know, one of the most important pieces of therapy is information. Right. And the telephone lines are tailor-made for delivering information. What we do isn't a substitute for seeing somebody face-to-face. And yet, I think it's an important piece of the whole continuum of professional services.
Okay, thanks so much for being with us. Stick around, because we're going to come back to you. We may have some questions from the audience. And later on, we're going to hear how the man or woman of your dreams could be only a 900 phone call away. But first, we're going to turn up the steam on our 900 numbers discussion. We're going to meet a man who owns 4 adult entertainment lines. Let's talk about sex, baby. We'll be right back.
Recreational factory warehouses overstocked. Truckloads of products are arriving daily with more on the way. Our warehouses are stretched to their limits with inventory levels at their highest ever, and we're in a must-sell situation. Our loss will be your gain during this once-in-a-lifetime sale. Super Lounger Portable Spa, now only $9.77, with bench, bucket, and lounge seating for $5, just $9.77. Deluxe Octagon Spa, only $8.77, all delivered free. Sales are on a first-come, first-served basis, so what are you waiting for? Hurry to the giant inventory reduction going on now at Recreational Factory Warehouse.
Gentle as these mothers' hands will hold you for all time. Gentle as this mother's love, you're beautiful and you're mine.
Finally, a children's no-lie relaxer that's as gentle as your love. Introducing Beautiful Beginnings from Dark and Lovely for wonderfully manageable hair.
You're beautiful and you're mine.
New Beautiful Beginnings, the least irritating children's no-lie relaxer, as gentle as your love.
If you're hurt on the job, you may have a right to get money for your injuries. Workers' compensation could be paying your doctor bills and sending you paychecks. Call the law offices of Hayes and Macilis at 934-8000. If you're already receiving workers' comp checks, we may be able to get you more money. Call 934-8000 for free legal advice. Get all the cash and benefits you deserve. Call the law offices of Hayes and Macilis at 934-8000. We help injured workers. We get results.
My face said look but don't touch. You know shiny skin. The corn silk is oil-free and oil-absorbing. For beauty so real, you can touch it.
That natural look of corn silk. It's oil-absorbent, not just oil-free.
Mean Joe Green.
Nice Joe Green.
Nice Joe Green. How'd you get to be nice?
Maximum strength Flexol. Got rid of my aches and pains.
But where'd the mean go?
Hey, when the pain went, the mean went.
New Maximum Strength Flexall, the pain relief pro trainers recommend.
If you're going to be in the New York area and would like free tickets to Rolanda, please call us at 212-650-2060. Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about 900 numbers today, where you can call everything from psychics to sex therapists. That's our topic today. I was just speaking with, this is Jennifer Howard, and Jennifer is you're a psychotherapist,
I'm a
right?
psychotherapist in New York City, right.
So what did you think about, like when you called 1-900 therapist?
Well, I feel like if people have relationship problems, they need to be in a relationship with a therapist. That's how the relationship issues get dealt with. This sounds like sort of an expensive way to read self-help books. That it would be much cheaper to go to the library and look up your problem and read a self-help book for $3.50 and then pass it to a friend rather than spending all this money calling.
There's some, you got an applause. You agree with that? Yeah. But there's some people who say, oh, they're just after the money. It's just like, you know, they're going to get you vulnerable. It's going to cost you a minute. And then once you get in a deep conversation, you're going to be in there a while. Is that your concern?
Well, yeah, it's $180. I figured it up. If it's $2.99 a minute, that's $180 an hour. You know, especially if someone goes to a clinic, that's a lot of one-on-one therapy.
As compared to what?
Rolanda, if I can
in
interject
clinic,
some,
it can be $20 or $10 a session with some clinics that have sliding scales.
Okay, Goldstein, you want to say something? Go on.
Sure, I wanted to interject a couple of thoughts. I certainly think that for some people, reading the book may be the more appropriate choice, and I wouldn't have any argument with that. As to the cost, one of the nice things about this service, different from traditional psychotherapy, is that the caller can control the cost. If you want to talk for 5 minutes, then you talk for 5 minutes. You go ahead and try and reserve 5 minutes with the psychologist in their own private office. Actually, you buy the hour, whether you want the hour or not. The bottom line on this is that traditional psychotherapists do have a problem with this kind of a concept. But traditional psychotherapists have to understand that what they're selling is often not what the public wants. And that what we're trying to do here is, in a professional and ethical way, be more attentive to what the consumer wants and still provide a good quality service.
Well, I think this needs to be about the integrity of what we feel like we're giving, not just what the consumer wants.
Well, they say, what is that, necessity is the mother of invention? It comes back to get us every time. Well, it does work for some people. I mean, the 900 numbers, you know, it's there if you choose to use it. Well, no discussion about these pay-per-call phone services would be complete without, well, live sex. It's given a new meaning to that phrase, reach out and touch someone. Joining us now is an owner and operator of a XXX adult phone sex line. This is Tom Scott. Tom, thanks for being with us. Now, Tom, were you in the sex business before the phone lines came along, or did you just decide, well, that's something that'll work for 900 line?
Well, I started off selling them.
Selling what?
For the 900 numbers and 800 numbers. And then since I was working there, you know, I just thought it would be a good idea to get one of my own, you know, for some extra income. And it's turned out really great.
Really good for business? I mean, you just made a bundle of money?
Not as much as I want. But
well, that was a diplomatic answer. Okay. How does it work?
A caller would call in on my 800 number, and they would have an option to either talk live one-on-one, or they could have recorded fantasies, or they could have a date line or a gab line. And each one is different billing rate. And
who's on the other end of the phone?
Well, the live one-on-one, there's a live girl there. You know,
Only girls?
Any lifestyle.
What about, do we get guys? Can we call for guys?
Sure, okay. You can get guys too.
All right, go on.
Okay, and
I mean, you consider 80% of the callers are women. I mean, you know, so go on.
And then the recorded fantasies are obviously recorded, and then the date line is mostly recordings. You push in your area code, and you hear all the recordings from your area.
And how much does it cost? The average?
The live one-on-one is $3.99 a minute.
I know. I mean, how long? I mean, you might get going there and have to be on the phone a while. I mean,
Some of them get lengthy.
Some of them get lengthy. What's the longest phone call you've had?
2 hours.
2 hours?
Yeah.
Woo, woo. Well, let's get an idea of what those folks were listening to for 2 hours. Joining us by telephone now is Bunny Buckskin. She's a former live phone sex operator who now trains people to give good phone sex. Bunny, how you doing?
Hi there.
How do you come up with things to say?
How do I come up with things to say?
Yeah, what do people say when they call?
Well, it depends on what they want. Contrary to popular belief, it's not always sex that goes on. Sometimes people are lonely. Sometimes people just want to talk. Sometimes people want to know, for instance, if there's a handicapped person who's maybe paralyzed or something like that. I had a guy like that who just wanted to know what it was like to go out on a date with a girl.
Wow.
Just wanted to know what a girl smelled like and what it was like to kiss and that kind of stuff.
Wow.
So it's not always just sex that goes on.
So you really, have you built you kind of like build a relationship with the caller?
You do, but it's important to also let them know that this is not a substitute for real life.
When they start getting on that phone and going like 2 hours, like Tom says, I mean, do you say, excuse me, sir, you better consider your phone bill?
I do. Some companies want to just milk the caller for everything it's worth, but I don't teach that. I teach that you need to treat them like real people and tell them, look, you've been on for 15, 20 minutes. This might be kind of expensive. You need to think about that. Or sometimes we'll offer them a flat rate, and then they don't have to pay per minute, where they just pay per call. Another thing that we don't allow is no violence or child abuse or anything like that is, first of all, illegal, but second of all, that's not something that we want to deal with, as far as I feel that pornography is violence and child abuse and not sex. And sex has been given a bad name because of violence and because of the companies that allow people to do anything they want. And what I do is I tell the operator that she has control of the conversation and that she can steer it however she wants it to go.
Bunny, I have a lonely cameraman here. His name is Carlos. And old Carlos has been working hard. Can you give us, come on, Carlos, just put your camera down. Don't you love him? Bunny, you're speaking to Carlos here, just kind of like PG rated. Could you give us an idea? Just an idea to take us on out to the commercial.
Hi, Carlos. What's your deepest, darkest fantasy?
Whoa.
Did you know that?
What is your fantasy? Carlos, what is your fantasy?
You know.
Get back to work, Carlos. Thank you, buddy. Can the telephone help you find the man or the woman of your dreams? When we get back, we're going to hear about a new spin on blind dating as soon as Carlos recovers.
Isn't it odd how something so wet can make your scalp dry? That's why there's new Finesse for dry scalp. Shampoo and conditioner that replenish your scalp's natural moisture and still give you beautiful hair. Finesse.
I'm about to perform an amazing act. The act of breathing, made possible by Tavis D.
Prescription strength Tavis D relieves congestion and sneezing for 12 hours. For an antihistamine only, Tavis 1.
There's nothing else like it.
I rarely make snap decisions. For yeast infections, I want an effective cure at a reasonable price. My doctor says My Select 7 is just as effective as Monistat 7, and it costs less. Decision made. My choice, my cure, is My Select's.
How wild is the taste of Hershey's cookies and mint? The mouth-watering combination of crunchy cookie bits and lightly minted Hershey's chocolate is outrageous. It's the coolest Hershey bar so far.
If it's time to do a little groundbreaking, don't go at it the old-fashioned way. Tear through it with a garden claw from Garden Weasel.
Just position it like this, and you'll be ready to cultivate, loosen, aerate, and weed.
The hardened steel tines rip through tough soil with just a twist of the comfort grip handles, even in heavy clay.
And it comes with a 100% lifetime guarantee.
So if you've got a tough job ahead of you, tear through it the easy way with the Garden Claw.
From Garden Weasel.
The Garden Claw is available at participating True Value, Ace, HWI, and Service Star. Makes a great gift.
It's the Montel Williams Show, on location in Las Vegas. This woman's fantasy is to get married as Tina Turner.
She's sexy, she's strong, she's been through a lot, and she has great legs.
This cop longs to be a Las Vegas showgirl.
Underneath all this is still the lieutenant.
That's right.
Well, we've called the experts to fulfill their glamorous dreams.
Show them that little hip thing that you did.
Celebrity lookalikes on the next Montel Williams Show.
Montel Williams, tomorrow morning at 9 on 11 Alive.
Be the same. On nationwide TV, he gets a call. We're discovering the wide world of 900 numbers on Rolanda today, everything from psychics to sex. You know, I even heard about a 900 number, folks. You're not going to believe this. It's called the shark line. And it actually, you can call and get a lawyer joke. And get this, you know, Fabio, that hunk of a cover boy? Well, he has his own 900 romance line on which he shares his fantasies of love. Oh, please, calm down over there. I would like you to meet our next guest. If you have been looking for love in all the wrong places, well, you might want to give our next guest a 900 number call. Gary Frank is the founder of a Vocall Communications Group, which runs a 900 date line service that helps people meet each other. Now, how can you do that? Welcome to the show, first of all. How do you meet somebody on the phone? Tell us how this all works.
Well, basically, people to our service dial a 900 number, record a personal greeting onto our system, and then other callers can dial and browse through the various messages that we have on the system and see if someone is perhaps compatible with their habits or traits, and if they like the way the person sounds and are interested in connecting with the person, they can leave them a message. Ultimately, the objective is for two people to exchange phone numbers and have a one-on-one contact without using the service. So it's an informal introductory service whereby we have a message exchange and people can communicate with one another in an anonymous manner.
Anything end up in marriage yet?
Part of our service is the anonymity of our service, so we really don't try to monitor what people are doing. People want that to be sort of a private matter, so we try not to, as I say, monitor what they're doing.
Have things gotten that bad we need a 900 number to date?
Well, I think 900 service provides, 900 Personals provides a unique opportunity to hear what the person sounds like, and that's a little bit different than you've had in the past, where newspaper personals, as an example, really just give you a written description, as where 900 service gives you an opportunity to hear and kind of gauge what the person is like beyond just what they write down.
And how can you ensure I'm not talking to some psycho?
Well, basically, we do advise everyone to be sure not to exchange phone numbers. We don't allow people to post phone numbers onto the system, so there can't be any abuses. When we do urge people to, you know, try and exchange messages before they go ahead and make a contact.
Have you got anybody who's just like called back and dated like one for every night? I mean, how much do people use the service? Have you seen people like really trying to try until they find the right one?
Yes, well, some people actually subscribe to the service and will use it for perhaps 1 or 2 months, and they'll ultimately make a date, and in some cases will stop, or they'll go out with someone for a few weeks or something and then start using the service again. So the calling patterns are not regular, but it really depends on how effective you are.
Have you found a date?
Myself?
Yeah.
No. I'm married myself. So.
Well, okay. You know, we're having a great time with all these 1-900 numbers, but don't get so excited. I mean, you remember your phone bill. When we return, we're going to hear from some people who took a look at their whopping phone bill and said 900 telephone service was the wrong number for them. We'll be right back.
Accidents cause pain and the fear of permanent injuries. If you've been involved in an auto accident and fear you have a back or neck injury, call Arrowhead Clinic. Arrowhead Clinic treats hundreds of accident victims every day. Getting prompt and proper treatment could prevent painful permanent injuries. Arrowhead Clinics will even file your claims and wait for the insurance company to pay the claims for you. Call Arrowhead Clinics right now at 968-PAIN for an immediate appointment. We'll take care of the paperwork and the pain. Call 968-PAIN now.
Hi, I'm Scott Price, Maxi Price Chevrolet in Monroe and Loganville, the Corvette capital of the South. Why is Maxi Price #1 in Corvettes? You got it, the price. For example, we've got over 100 new 94 loaded Corvettes either in stock or on the way from as low as $29,995. You heard right, a new 94 loaded Corvette, $29,995. And we've got similar savings on all the rest of our huge inventory. And if credit's ever a problem, hey, Maxi always makes it easy. So for price, selection, and easy credit, hey, think twice. Then come see Maxi Price.
Camcorders are over this way, Irv. That's a computer that we bought at the warehouse store, Irv.
Better. This one's better.
Well, we kind of knew what we wanted.
I could have used a little advice.
Okay, we paid less.
We paid more.
Buy your new computer with confidence at Circuit City. We've got a great selection of top brands, state-of-the-art service, and always the low price guaranteed.
I could have bought a better computer.
For less?
Circuit City. We've got your new computer right here.
Clinical studies reveal there is an allergy medicine so effective, it'll relieve your sneezing, itchy throat, and watery eyes just as well as the leading prescription medicine. It's called chlortrimeton. To relieve all those allergy symptoms, there's nothing beyond chlortrimeton.
To Virginia here. Virginia says she still hasn't paid her bill off. Well, where were you calling? Where were you calling?
Well, it wasn't me that made the phone calls. It was my son, who's 14.
Oh.
His 15-year-old friend gave him advertisement page number. They in turn dialed 5 different numbers in a matter of 2.5, 3 weeks, and I had a phone call from the phone company to tell me how am I going to pay this phone bill.
How much was it?
Well, after 2.5 months, the bills are still trickling in because it takes so long. I understand that the process of certain telephone companies, because there's 3 different phone companies involved with all these 900 numbers, they're still trickling in, so it's about $1,200.
$1,200?
Yes. And they were in a variety of calls, from the talk lines.
This guy said reaching out and touching somebody, really.
That's what I tried to tell him, for that kind of money.
You're going to reach out and grab your wallet.
The thing is they were a variety of phone calls. They were the talk lines, chat lines, and if they weren't what they wanted to talk about, they could hang up and redial again.
Ooh.
They were also phone us one-on-one. And what bothers me is my son is a minor. And they say they have preambles or they have these recorded messages. How can a recorded message screen for an 18-year-old or above?
Yeah, how do you know, guys? Go on. How do you, I mean, because you don't, I mean, how can you tell over the phone if somebody is of age?
Well, the fact of the matter is that they can't screen for minors. I think that there has to be a responsibility taken by the homeowner, the parent, or whomever it is that is responsible for that account to put a block on that line.
And you can put a block. You call the phone company to put a block on? Is that
correct? That's right. And in many cases, it's available for free.
Okay. Here's another story. Give me your name.
Patricia Wilcox.
Okay, Patricia, what happened to you?
I came home from work. I had to open up my phone bill. I had an $800 bill, or was 7-something, for my daughter calling a 1-800 number.
Are you the daughter? You come on up here and stand up. Yeah, you knew that was going to cost you a bunch of money. What did you do this to Mom for?
I didn't know it didn't cost no money, because in the magazine it didn't tell me anything, so I just thought it was free, so I just called.
Wasn't there something on the phone that said, now you can hang up now, it's going to cost you?
No.
Nothing?
It was like a recording telling me to call a different number, and it didn't tell me nothing else, so I just called it.
What did your mother do when she opened that phone bill?
She asked me if I called, and at first I said no, but then I admitted it. And she was kind of mad.
Yeah, did you get grounded for a month?
Mad.
You got grounded and everything else.
Oh, yeah.
Anything you would advise, or some from your insight, what you'd say to parents?
advise them ahead of time to let their kids know to watch out for 800s because you have to pay for those also.
Who were you calling?
I don't know, it was just like a bunch of people from all over.
Like a party line or something?
Yeah.
Oh, God. And you're not Santa Domingo.
That's where they
And Steve, you were somebody involved also, weren't you? What happened to you?
Well, I had called the 900 number to get help with my computer software, and I was put on hold for 6 minutes, and then they answered my question in 1 minute, and I got billed for 7 minutes.
Oh, my goodness. And does that always happen when you're on hold?
Not on ours. We have no hold on our lines at all. There is no holding whatsoever in our technology.
Well, I think there's real potential
or
abuse
music
there. Someone
playing.
can make a lot of money just putting people on hold before they even get to them.
That's right. Now, how are you supposed to know?
He has the right to protest that clearly.
Well, I did, frankly,
and
AT&T resolved it very quickly to my favor.
Right.
Were they very, like when you call the phone company saying, you know, I've just been duped here, were they very understanding to you?
Absolutely.
They were.
In fact, they gave me an 800 number to call about the 900 number
Oh,
complaint.
Thank you, Steve. All of our guests today on Rolanda are involved with 900 pay-per-call phone services. And if you would like any information on our guests or their services, you can call us. We've got an 800 number too, Steve. Everybody's getting in the act. 1-800-291-2535. You see it right here on your screen. And we're going to come right back in a minute.
Big news from our expert in the field, Green Thumb.
It's the new vegetable bag from Ziploc. The only bag made to keep veggies fresher longer. You know the problem. Too much moisture turns vegetables soggy. Too little makes them dry. That's why Ziploc brand vegetable bags are designed with freshness vents. Amazing little holes that let the right amount of moisture out. So veggies stay fresher longer. Remember this rule of thumb?
Ziploc has the lock on freshness.
For vegetables.
Allergies can ruin my day. My husband's a doctor and could prescribe anything for me, but he recommends Dimetap Extentabs.
Extentab's powerful formula provides not 4, not 6, but 12 full hours of adult allergy relief.
One tablet lets me keep going all day.
Doctors have recommended the Dimetap brand over 200 million times, including 12-hour Dimetap Extentabs.
I trust my husband, and he trusts Dimetap.
You could be starting a new job soon because interim personnel has great temporary jobs right now, and one of them is perfect for you. Call us. We have jobs where you can use your skills, from secretarial and word processing to accounting, data entry, and light industrial. You'll have the freedom to set your own schedules and work where you want to. So call interim personnel for details, because the sooner you call, the sooner you can start your new job.
North Lake Mall's 3rd annual You Look Just Like Your Mom contest is May 7th.
You can win jewelry, Braves, tickets, and more. Come to North Lake Mall by May 7th to register.
If you've been injured on the job, Gilbert and Montlick can help you recover all of your workers' compensation benefits.
Call Gilbert and Montlick attorneys now.
Could a defense spray save your life? Find out which sprays might stop an attacker and which could place you in greater danger. In Your Face, tonight at 11 on 11 News.
Consideration provided by
New St. Ives Swiss Formula Papaya Plus, the gentle shampoo plus conditioner in one for naturally beautiful, healthy hair. New St. Ives Swiss Formula Papaya Plus.
Hello, I have a car rental reservation.
No problem. I'll just punch up the computer. Call your travel consultant or dollar at 1-800-800-4000.
From psychics to sex is our topic today. You have heard how our guest today became successful in the 900 number business. The fact is, really, that anybody can start a 900 number for the phone service. There's even a book that tells you how you can do it. If you're interested, it's called 900 Know-How, How to Succeed with your own 900-number business. Okay, everybody, sit down. The book is by Robert Maston if you end up in the bookstore. Dr. Cole, you wanted to speak on behalf of some of these horror stories of these high bills that were run up on 900 numbers.
I think that there's almost in every case a remedy to solve the abuse possibilities for consumers, and I think the phone company and the FTC have been very careful to try to protect consumers. They build in things called chargebacks, which allow people to say, I wasn't satisfied with the quality of the service I received, please don't make me pay the bill, and in many cases they don't.
Okay.
And the thing that happened with you all, with your daughter, there's a thing called switching, which is considered illegal if someone calls an 800 number and is not completely informed that they are now going to be dialing into a charge number, and that is illegal, and you have recourse about that.
Question.
I just have a comment. I think that all these services have one basic thing in common, that they're attracting thousands of very lonely people with a lot of serious problems.
Yeah, what does this say about our society? I know, I'm with you.
It's in a sorry state. Actually, there's a lot of people who, I would say probably 80% of the American population are not satisfied with their love lives. They don't have a mate that they're being fulfilled by, and so they're seeking help from any one of these services, including the psychic service. And then, of course, the job dissatisfaction. And so they're people that have need. They're lonely, they're depressed, they need hope, they need help, they need counseling, they need something. They need prayer, they need God, they need a lot of things.
And they have each of you. We have to take a break right now. We'll come back in just a minute. We'll be right back.
Okay, sports fans, get ready to go for the glory during Sports Illustrated Sports Fest at Six Flags. Show your stuff as you jam it, slam it, nail it, kick it, and stick it at the world's largest traveling sports festival. There are scores of challenging and fun activities for the whole family to participate in, like basketball, soccer, baseball, football, Nerf games for the small set, and much, much more. Come on out for the exciting Sports Illustrated Sports Fest this weekend, and it's only at Six Flags over Georgia.
Guess I'll take this one.
You like it?
My shoulder aches too much to try anymore.
Here, try on my Myoflex.
But the pain-relieving rubs I've tried really smell. And won't the grease ruin these clothes?
Myoflex has no smell. And don't worry, it won't stain the clothes.
No smell. No grease.
It's a vanishing cream that helps make pain vanish.
Myoflex Pain Relief penetrates deep. Myoflex, the vanishing cream that helps make pain vanish.
Let's try blouses.
The original country peddler this weekend is in town. A juried showcase of American tradition with artisans from all around.
This weekend at the Cobb Galleria Center in Atlanta.
Friday, 4 to 9.
Saturday, 9 to 5.
Sunday, 11 to 4.
Adults, $5.
Children 12 and under, $2.
The Cobb Galleria Center in Atlanta.
Buy the heirlooms of the future at the original country peddler.
You're going to see more people take their clothes off on this program.
On the next Donahue, you asked for it. Now see the best dancers, female and male, in the country, face-to-face in a sexy strip-off. And find out the secret tricks of the trade.
Do you know that men are getting implants now? Yeah. I mean, implants.
And you'll get a special encore you won't believe.
The entire audience is going to strip. You're going to love this.
Who in the sexy strip-off? Find out next Donahue.
Donahue, today at 4 on 11 Alive.
I was getting my own psychic reading free here, and you say that I got a four-leaf clover somewhere in my love life?
That's future in your love life, so there's going to be a lot of excitement, even wedding bells I'm seeing here.
Really? We're going to talk about this. I'll be dating a clover. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. If you're going to call those 1-900 numbers, be careful, give yourself some constraint, okay? And go ahead and have a good day. All right, thanks so much.
A funny thing happens to people who have cable TV once they turn it on.
Of course they took naps.
You just can't turn them off.
And they love vegetables.
Because cable turns people on to ideas they use in life. So turn on to cable TV, because you never know
So how come they're all dead?
when you'll be on next.
For a limited time, standard installation is only $25. Call your local Wometco Cable TV office, GCTV, or 473-8300 today.
Coming up on 11 News at 5, Bill Clinton faces some tough questions in Georgia. We'll have the latest on the presidential blitz. Also, we'll go to the Country Music Awards, where Georgians are playing a very popular tune. These stories today at 5 on 11 News.
When a young girl vanished, Officer Brown was accused and a small town was torn apart.
I think James Brown was a victim.
The charges were dropped, but his life changed forever. Can he win back his good name? Watch Inside Edition.
Today at 5:30 on 11 Alive.
Shoplifters who say they just can't stop. Watch the next American Journal.
All right, you wrote to us, you wanted it, you asked for it, we're going to give it to you. I mean, you're going to see more people take their clothes off on this program than ever before. Now, wait a minute. You yell. Wait a minute. Hold it. I don't know where we get these audiences. We have 6 groups of strippers today. And we are about to decide who is the sexier. Sex. Is it the men or the women? You want? We even have 4 judges here. Look how thrilled they are to be here today.